Hey all, Tim Rosgany here, and this is another in what I'm calling a video series. It's called Wounded and Wonderful. And that relates to a meeting that I started recently, and you'll see more about that at the end of the video. But the topic for me for today involves stories and narratives, and trying to get out of my own head, because I spend so much time caught up in my own narrative. And it helps me to look at my story of the world and see it for what it is, and know that there was so much of it that was handed to me as a child. I didn't have anything. I had my spirit, my beautiful, wonderful, brilliantly blazing spirit that was given to me as a child of the universe. But as far as moving in the world, I didn't have words. All of that got handed to me. I got handed a narrative of what it means to be alive, what it means to be a human being. I got handed a narrative about what it means to be a boy versus a girl. I got handed a narrative about, I was raised Catholic, so I was handed an entire narrative about what it meant, what the universe was all about, what life was all about. I got handed a language that gave me words to use for things. And I, eventually, as I grew older, I thought about it. I recognized the relativity of all of that. That if I'd been born to another parent, another set of parents in the same town, in another country, in another time, the story I was handed would have been very different. I may have been handed a story where, I wasn't raised Christian. And I would have had different words to use. I would have been taught different values, different ways of being in the world, different customs and traditions. So, I got this idea that I knew my story, there was a relativity to it. How could my story be right? There's 8 billion of us on this planet, 8 billion human beings, and we each have a narrative. And I know there can be a temptation to defend that narrative. For some of us, it can feel like life and death. If my narrative of life is challenged, if my narrative of life is not true, well, oh my God, that could rock my world. What am I? Where am I? I'm adrift. What does that mean? But that's the conundrum. But I also know that my narrative is not true. The narrative I have is one of 8 billion on this planet. How can my narrative be true? Are all the other ones wrong? No. Are they right and I'm wrong? No. So my narrative is true and false at the same time. It's true for me. So where do I go with that? And how do I find some comfort, in that situation? Well, I try to take a higher view and step back and look at the bigger picture, the bigger story, because there is a wonderful story being told that's underneath all the narratives that have come from human beings over the course of human history. There's a greater truth there in which we're all united. And it's the story of our species and humanity. And it's a story that began billions of years ago. We are the end result of a process that started over 4 billion years ago. The evolution of life on this particular planet, in this solar system, in this galaxy, one of many, many in an amazingly vast universe. So when you look at it that way, from the whatever view you want to call it, the 10,000-foot view, the view from the moon, whatever, it is, we are part of an amazing story. It's an amazing story, and it's an amazing adventure and experiment in consciousness on the part of the universe that, it took all these years for life to evolve, to bring us to where we are today. So and it helps me there, when I think of it that way, to realize I don't have to defend my narrative with my life. I don't have to be right about everything. I don't have to have all the answers. My job is to just exist and enjoy existing, and to try to find a way to love myself and to accept myself as I am, and to acknowledge that, yeah, I don't have all the answers. I don't need to. So I'm part of an amazing story. And that, for me, yeah, that's enough. So that helps me sometimes to, get out of my head and set my ego aside. I don't have to be right about everything. I just have to be, and hopefully move in the world with kindness, recognizing that everyone I encounter is, they all have their own narratives, but they're all, at some level, we're all the same. We're all one species. We're all the same. And we're all just trying to, live the day. So with that, I will bid you good day. I hope that you are telling yourself a narrative that includes how very wonderful you are and what an amazing, amazing manifestation of life you are by the universe. And I wish you well on your journey of healing, and I will talk to you again. Be well.